Thank you for joining us for the fourth webinar in our Wire and Cable Application Series. Today's webinar on the automotive manufacturing industry is brought to you by Service Wire Company. Since 1968, Service Wire has been committed to producing the finest quality American-made wire and cable products while providing industry-leading service levels. We're pleased to have Tony Holderby on the call with us today. Tony has over 26 years of experience at Service Wire. He started in the warehouse and was later promoted to assistant warehouse manager. After 7 years, Tony moved into manufacturing and worked closely with our engineering teams. He then made the jump to our sales department, where he's been for the past 17 years. Currently, Tony serves as the regional sales manager for the Northern Atlantic and Great Lakes regions. Over the next 45 minutes, Tony will provide an overview of the automotive manufacturing landscape, application-specific challenges and solutions, where low voltage copper wire and cable is used, and how to identify opportunities in your territory. There will be a Q&A after the presentation. Feel free to share any of your questions in the chat box, and we'll be happy to review those on the call or follow up with you after the webinar. Tony, ready to talk about wire and cable in automotive and EV applications?
Thank you, Katie, and thanks again to everyone for taking the time to join us today. Gas prices, chip shortages, and an increase in charging stations has surely made headlines this past year. Everyone's talking about some segment of automotive and EV manufacturing. What about the wire and cable used to power this industry? Whether it's continuing to power traditional automotive manufacturing or to branch out to battery plants and supercharge stations, we need to have a clear understanding of the wiring cable opportunities coming our way. North American production is expected to reach 15 million by the end of this year and climb to 16.3 million by 2023, while EV is expected to grow into $147 billion industry by 2028. Favorable government initiatives, subsidies, and tax rebate programs will drive this market growth. In fact, more than $7.5 billion of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act has already been allocated to develop a national network of EV charging stations across the country. Let's put this into perspective. There are more than 1.2 million electrical vehicles on U.S. roads today. By 2030, that number will climb to approximately 18.7 million. That's a lot of opportunity for us to capture. But where can we find these opportunities? I'd say everyone here is already familiar with the Automotive Hub in Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. But over the years, we've seen plants start to move into the South. And if you consider EV manufacturing developments, you might see some outliers in Tennessee, Texas, and California. This map shows all light vehicle assembly and parts plants owned by auto companies in the U.S. The orange dots represent plants that do not produce EVs, while the green dot represents those plants that do produce EVs. The blue dot shows facilities that produce both. Updated maps have always added 5 new EV startup to the list. Arrival, Canoe, Electric Last Mile Solution, which is a delivery vehicle manufacturer, Karma Automotive, and the last one, Zoox, a driverless rideshare vehicle manufacturer. Most of these smaller EV startups have one plant or preparing to launch an EV production over the next 2 years. On the other hand, upcomer Rivian has really ramped up production in their Normal, Illinois plant, with plans to expand to another facility in Virginia later this year. And then there are the large domestic auto companies, Ford, GM, Stellantis, who pump out half of all production. These companies have committed over $70 billion and new investments in EVs and battery cells. Ford, for example, announced in fall 2021 that they would shell out $11.4 billion on all new EV plants in Tennessee and 3 new battery plants, 2 in Kentucky and 1 in Tennessee. Now, if you expand your search to EV charging stations, you will find thousands across the country. California, Florida, New York, and Washington are leading the pack with the number of charging stations by state. But the stat you want to keep an eye on here is the ratio of EVs to charger points. In New Jersey, for example, there are approximately 41 EVs on the road to 1 charger, really highlighting the need to expand in this state. They are followed by California at 27 to 1 and Hawaii at 25 to 1. This map shows all of the existing level 1, level 2, and DC fast charging stations across the country. Level 1 chargers are the slowest type of charging equipment. L1 plugs directly into a standard 120 volt AC outlet, supplying an average power output of 1.3 kilowatts to 2.4 kilowatts. This power output is equivalent to 3 to 5 miles of EV range per hour. These are typically found in residential settings. Level 2 chargers operate at 208 to 240 volt output, anywhere from 3 kilowatts to 19 kilowatts of AC power, which is about 18 to 28 miles of range per hour. These stations are the most prevalent type of chargers in the U.S. However, the Infrastructure Investment Jobs Act is looking to add additional supercharge stations or direct current fast chargers. We call that DCFC. DCFCs are the fastest chargers available with a maximum output of 350 kilowatts. They're designed to fill an EV battery to 80% in just 20 to 40 minutes. Okay, so how does low voltage copper wire and cable fit into the EV charging world? Just like an industrial facility, EV charging stations are powered by either renewable energy, fossil fuels, or utilities. Medium voltage cables connect substations and transformers. Transformers then steps this down into low voltage. Service wire's low voltage cable can then be used to connect the switchgear to the individual charging stations. Our cable is typically buried underground in conduit or concrete. We can use ServicePlex, ServicePro X, USC-2 single conductors, and even jacketed type MC armored cable in these installations. These products can also be used in traditional manufacturing facilities. Our low voltage cable can be run underground into the building switchgear, into motor control centers and cabinets to control different processes along the manufacturing line. From there, cables can be installed in a combination of conduits and cable trays or cleated to the wall, depending on the cable. It should be noted that service wire products are for static applications only, where the cable is installed but does not move during application. Whereas flex applications require the cable to handle millions of cycles of repetitive bending and stress during use. These types of cables are used to control the robot arms in an automotive facility. Static applications account for 80% of a facility's total installation, so there's plenty of opportunity to capture business with service wire. We've installed XHW-2 underground and in concrete in both traditional and EV manufacturing facilities. We've done armored cable in place of conduit and jacketed type MC cleated to the wall. Our tray cable even allows us to go from conduit to cable tray and then drop down to a motor. More on these products in a bit. But as you can see, there are opportunities for low voltage copper wire and cable in a variety of automotive manufacturing and EV plants and projects. Now that we have an understanding of where cable is used, we need to be aware of facility-specific challenges. Auto manufacturers have a mile-long process in their facilities. One step follows continuously into the next. So if something at the top of the line fails, everything would have to stop down the line. This can lead to detrimental loss in productivity and ultimately downtime. Another concern in auto plants is repeatability, both inside the same facility and across operations in multiple locations. One plant in Michigan could essentially be the same as the one in Kentucky, for example. In a similar vein, they need redundant systems, depending on the type of interruption and the severity of the consequences. Some manufacturing systems require redundancy to keep people and equipment safe. The automotive industry is also well known for its just-in-time processes. They need raw materials to show up exactly the right time in order to manufacture at peak efficiency. Similarly, if they're upgrading a plant, building on, or constructing a greenfield facility, auto manufacturers have similar expectations on the job site. They need partners who align with their core values of quality and safety, who also have the ability to deliver on time and damage-free per a time-sensitive schedule. As I've already alluded to, the solution's simple. Auto manufacturers, whether it's car, battery, or EV plants, need dependable industrial-grade wire and cable from a reliable supplier. They want someone like Service Wire has a long history of providing the right products at the right time. They prefer industrial grade XLPE silicon-free insulated conductors with built-in mechanical protection and drive cable that can keep their lines running uninterrupted. As discussed, Service Wire's products can be used in an array of processes inside an automotive manufacturing facility. Our most widely used products are silicon-free Service Pro X single conductors, ServicePlex twisted multi-conductor cable, dual-rated tray cable, UL type MC, and Service Drive VFD cable. Let's talk a little bit about why each of these products preferred for this application. Service Wire's Service Pro X single conductors are available silicon-free to meet the installation requirements inside of an automotive manufacturing facility. Our singles can be used in conduit, cable tray, duct banks, or directly buried. We offer Thermoset XHW-2, USC-2, and RHW-2 in 14 gauge through 750 kc mil copper. All cables are UL listed 600 volt 1 kV, and cables 1 aught and larger are cable tray rated. Our superior line of enhanced surface cross-linked insulation does not require pulling lube and requires less pulling force during installation. Best of all, Service Pro X is available in stock in a wide range of industry standard colors, which are also silicon free. With our single conductors, you don't have to worry about silicon interfering with any adhesive materials in your paint booth or throughout the facility, or seeping onto your hands during installation. XLPE products like Service Wire's XAW-2 pictured here and USC and RHW are made with cross-linked polyethylene instead of a PVC nylon. Thermoset insulation is more resistant to chemicals and abrasions and far less toxic than PVC. Thermoplastic insulation in the event of a fire. Thermosets are also more resistant to leakage current and have far superior electrical performance. In this comparison chart, you can see that Service Wire's Thermoset XHW-2 has a dielectric constant of less than 3.5, meaning the cable's insulation has a greater ability to release leakage current. And the cable insulation resistance is substantially higher than PVC. This means the cable can handle more spikes and inrushes over longer periods of time while protecting critical circuits at risk of electrical interference from high leakage currents. XHW-2 also has a higher maximum and lower minimum temperature rating, protecting the cable in open air installations. When it comes to EV stations, the cable must be installed underground. This is a perfect fit for Service Pro X thermoset conductors because the XLP compound has almost 5 times the crust resistance compared to thermoplastic THHN. Plus, XHW-2 is also moisture resistant. This leads me to our next product, ServicePlex. ServicePlex is an assembly of quality service wire single conductors twisted together to create a uniform construction, effectively functioning as prefab wire pull. This is easy to install multi-conductor cable is a great solution for longer pulls. What may have required 4 individual reels before could easily be replaced with a single reel of ServicePlex. The prefab cable reduces the time it takes to execute a pull, allows you to pull the wire even faster, and requires fewer reels on the job site. Contractors who use ServicePlex reported 50 to 70% combined material and labor savings. Plus, Service Wire will cover the twist loss on our end, so you don't have to pay extra for this value-added service. ServicePlex is easily installed in conduit, cable tray, or direct burial applications. And just like Service Pro X, it is available in all industry standard colors, 14 gauge through 750 kc mil, in XHW-2, USE-2, or RHW-2. It is also available silicon free. Service Wire offers shorter than industry lead times for Plex in our colors or black, and we can even cut ServicePlex lengths by specific pulls or install pulling heads upon request. There are a ton of options for this unique product. Looking for traditional cable tray instead? Service Wire has that too. We were one of the first manufacturers to offer UL 1277 approved 600 volt 1 kV dual rated tray cable. Dual rated tray cable is a more robust product. It is a cost-effective alternative for applications that require a lower voltage cable but are at risk for potential voltage spikes. For example, 1 kV rated tray cable can withstand greater electrical adversity, have a lesser impact during a disruptive event, and the recovery time is faster than a less resilient system. Additionally, dual-rated tray cable has a smaller outside diameter than traditional 1 kV tray cables, making it preferable in space-constrained installations. Service Wire's tray cable is suitable for installations in cable trays supported by messenger wire in open air raceways, channels, conduit, and ducts. It is also TCER rated per the National Electric Code. It can transition up to 6 feet in free air without continuous support. This allows the cable to transition from the cable tray to a motor, avoiding the use of flex conduit. Best of all, our tray cable interconductors can be silicon free to meet your automotive spec. We can offer a helically or corrugated shield or an overall PVC, CPE, or low smoke zero halogen jacket for additional mechanical protection. While there is no standard jacketing compound in automotive applications, polyvinyl chloride, or PVC, is the most common jacket material for commercial and industrial applications, while chlorinated polyethylene, CPE, is designed for uses where there are higher levels of chemical resistance or where the jacket would be exposed to chemical washdown. The last option ServiceWire offers is low smoke zero halogen or XLPO jacket. This thermoset jacket is designed to reduce flame, smoke, and secondary damage in case of fire. Now let's say you need another layer of mechanical protection on your cable. That's where Jacketed MC or Type MC armored cable comes in. Armored cable offers all the protection conduit without the added cost. UL Type MC is suitable for raceways, conduit, or direct burial installations, and applications include power circuits and hazardous locations designated as Class 1 Div 2 or Class 2 Div 2. The interlocked armor is flexible, unlike conduit or even CCW, ensuring damage will not affect the interconductors. It is also easier to install in complex closed-space bins and can be relocated as your facility grows. For example, we've seen auto installations where the Type MC cable is cleated to the wall every 6 feet per the NEC code instead of fixed in conduit. This allows the facility to raise the cable up off the ground, but not be permanent, as the cable can be moved if the facility adds another line to their process. In addition to installation advantages, Type MC can offer some significant cost and labor savings. 3-inch galvanized conduit and wire can take up to 33 hours per 100 feet to install based on NEC recommended labor hours. 3-inch PVC pipe and wire takes about 23 hours. But ServiceWire's 4-aught MC, for example, takes on average 7.5 hours per 100 feet. Contractors who use Type MC armored cable often report between 50 to 70% combined labor and material savings versus traditional pipe and wire jobs. Now we're left with VFD cables. Variable frequency drives, or VFDs, can be used in a wide range of processes inside an automotive manufacturing facility. Whether it's conveyor belt moving parts along the line or a crane system carrying 1,000-pound engines, there are countless examples of where you might find a drive in one of these facilities. And each of these drives requires special cable to power the motor. While there are dozens of VFD cable constructions on the market, ServiceWire's Service Drive VFD cable system is the only proven solution to address the common issues affected with drive performances. In third-party testing by IEEE, fellow John Bentley, and senior member Patrick Link, the pair concluded that a copper tape shielded Type MC cable significantly outperformed the other cables in nearly every category: crosstalk, motor frame, common mode, and total current. And now with the system's new self-terminating connectors and termination kits, Service Drive has addressed the installation factors from this study. While this is beyond the scope of today's presentation, I strongly encourage everyone to review our Service Wire Academy model Introduction to VFD Cable to learn more. In this free session, we review these common issues, how Service Drive addresses them, and the importance of proper cable selection and termination. Now for understanding of VFD cable in automotive plants, it is important to note that Service Drive consists of cable, self-terminating connectors, and termination kits. The cable is insulated with heat and moisture resistance XLPE and covered with a helically applied copper tape shield and overall black PVC, CPE, or low smoke zero halogen jacket. We offer connectors for direct wire, liquid tight, NPT conduit, and interlocked armor installations. The termination kits should be used in tandem with the connectors to ensure 360-degree termination, creating the lowest impedance path. Now that you have an understanding of the application products, let's review what you need to know when bidding on an automotive or EV job. Here's a list of questions you should ask when looking to write a wire and cable order. Are we spec'd? Are we specified? Industrial projects are driven by their engineering specifications. If our product isn't on spec, we'll need to work with approving authorities. This really comes down to timing. The sooner you hear of a project, the easier it is for us to get on spec. We have a team of experts available to review your specification documents or help you specify service wire products. This value-add service is available for free at all of our locations. If you have the specification documents for a project, send them our way. This will ensure we provide the right cable. Also, keep in mind that the spec may be global or local. If we're on a global spec, we can often get in on a job even if we aren't on the local spec. Number 2, what is the project timing? Once you know the spec, we'd also like to know the project timing. This will help us get you the best lead times possible, whether we can sell from stock or manufacture per their project requirements. Gathering this information is critical. If you wait too long to order, we may not be able to deliver per the request. Similarly, we need to know the desired delivery date. We can easily ship to the job site on the distributor's behalf. But in the just-in-time mentality of the automotive world, projects may be built by process and have different delivery schedules for wire and cable than other electrical equipment. Not to worry though, Service Wire can take an order, hold it, ship on release, or offer adjustment time delivery. Number 3, is the material purchased at the corporate or local level? Some end users will do the buying at the corporate level, while others will deal the purchasing out to the subcontractors. Again, this could be for the whole job or a process unit. We need to be certain in order to quote product that ensures a win. In most instances, the corporate levels does the bigger buys, but always ask the follow-up questions as to whether or not they allow the contractors to buy locally on smaller projects. If you aren't able to secure the initial larger bid, don't give up. You can always land the smaller orders with Service Wire thanks to our low minimums. If you're looking to persuade an automotive project, whether traditionally manufacturing, a battery plant, or EV charging station, give Service Wire a call. We have a long history serving this industry. Our low voltage copper XLPE insulated silicon free Service Pro X singles, ServicePlex twisted multi-conductor cable, dual rated tray cable, UL type MC, and service drive VFD cables are built specifically for industrial projects. We have full manufacturing and distribution capabilities in all three of our nationwide locations. We offer low minimum order quantities on special make items and quick lead times. This varies by product type and project timing, but we are pleased to be able to continue to outserve the competition. We can cut to length, offer master reels, provide customer packaging to minimize shipping damage, and ship direct to the job site. In fact, we have a damage-free delivery rate 5 times better than the industry average. Plus, every order leaving our facility is quality tested before the shipment, ensuring you receive only the best product from Service Wire. Before we get to any questions, I want to let everyone know that today's session will be available on demand later this month at go.servicewire.com/auto on demand. You will receive a follow-up email with additional information. Please feel free to refer to it to your colleagues who may be interested in this webinar series. And finally, if you are interested in more application webinars, save the date for our wiring, cable, and solar application session on October 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now we're going to open it up for any questions. Feel free to unmute or type in the chat box. Otherwise, I appreciate everyone's time today, and I'm available anytime to discuss your industrial projects. Thank you.